I honestly believe Magid represents everything that is wrong with our once great city and country. I just want the good old days back, where we put English people first, and this Magid bloke is going to ruin everything.
This is Magid, and those are the words of one of the people he represents. That's because Magid is the Lord Mayor of Sheffield, the young, modern, cheeky, fun face of South Yorkshire. But because of that, and because he is the city's first Muslim Lord Mayor, not everyone is happy with him.
I can't help but feel there's a lot of people still waiting for me to kind of either slip up or just whatever, but I'm always going to get critics.
And when I caught up with him, one of the first things he mentioned were the racist comments that he's received.
Look into the camera and read it. Again. Home to the oldest world's... Shall I start again, sorry?
So I asked Magid to read out one of those comments, which was sent in to the local paper.
We are losing our identity. I have been living in Sheffield for all my life, 71 years. This once great city that was famous for its world-class steel, home to the oldest football club in the world, and great history is sadly changing. Sheffield is rapidly losing its identity, and we must do something to stop it. I'm sure I'm not alone when I say that such an esteemed role, such as the Lord Mayor, first citizen of Sheffield, should only be reserved to a person of white English descent, and especially not to a Muslim immigrant. Because that is our tradition and culture, which is unfortunately being eradicated. Is that too much to ask for?
So this is a Channel 4 News series called What I've Learned, and it basically came about from meeting and talking to people who aren't particularly famous. They're like not well known. You could pass them by in a train carriage like this and you wouldn't know who they were. But these seemingly ordinary people actually have incredible, amazing stories to tell. And in this episode, I took a train up to Sheffield in South Yorkshire and spoke to a guy called Magid Magid. Now he's not just the city's youngest ever Lord Mayor, he's also the first ever Muslim Lord Mayor of Sheffield. And unfortunately, because of that, it means he's had a lot of racist comments because of who he is. And yet amazingly, that hasn't stopped him being this incredibly optimistic, fun, loud character. And so this is our interview with Magid Magid, the youngest ever and first ever Muslim Lord Mayor of Sheffield. How do you feel when you read something like that?
In all honesty, he's not alone in his views, and I'm quite thick-skinned in the sense that it doesn't bother me. I don't lose any sleep over it. However, it is a shame people still hold those views, but in all honesty, it's a lot of people are just scared of change. People fear change, especially fear of the unknown. What is British? Like, it's one person's view on what being British is completely different to someone else's views on being British. And I'm sure a lot of people will say, I'm not British. I would say I'm as British as anybody else, in all honesty. A lot of people have kind of just been really excited, and a lot of the kind of comments people are making saying, oh, we're really proud to be living in Sheffield, or you're a breath of fresh air. I represent different groups of people, and I think it's important for people like me, whether that be people of colour, whether that be disabled people, that be more women, just to have more of a representation when it comes to holding positions such as, would that be in all forms of government, like would that be Lord Mayor, Councillor, MP. It just means that I'll be able to bring a different voice to certain issues. Born in Somalia, came to Sheffield when I was 5. There was a point where we lived in Ethiopia for 6 months. My mother had an opportunity just to kind of take us to Sheffield, and I think it's interesting within this role specifically for me, is one way to really give back to the city that's given me and my family and so many other people so much. I do feel like immigrants are held to a higher standard than anybody else in society, where it's quite ridiculous, to be honest. It's a hard thing being an immigrant, and what frustrates me is this notion of being a good immigrant versus a bad immigrant. You know, you can only be a good immigrant, say, if you win a gold medal in the Olympics like Mo Farah did, we all celebrate and champion him, or if you win a baking competition like Nadia did, then you're only deemed a good and worthy immigrant, where the rest, so many other immigrants, shall I say, are constantly doing amazing things, which aren't highlighted. But at the same time, why should immigrants be having to kind of live with this pressure of having to always prove ourselves better than everybody else, where we should be accepted for who we are and basically living our lives like every other normal citizen in this country is. And I got into politics because of the rhetoric of far-right groups like UKIP, anti-immigration stance, but also I also believed the people who were elected to represent us weren't reflective of those people that they are representing. So that's one side of it, but also I just wanted to play more of an active role within my community where I lived. We immigrants have to always work twice, if not 5 times as harder, whether even that be academically or in every aspect, just to kind of say, well, look, we are a worthy immigrant because we're a good immigrant, because we've achieved this, we've done this. If hard work was something every woman in Africa would amount and achieve amazing things or be a millionaire, but we know hard work is nothing without opportunity. You need opportunity. And had it not been for my friends grounding me, my mother making sacrifices, the people of Sheffield, I would not have achieved what I've achieved. Even when I knew I was becoming Lord Mayor, it was something I didn't tell people because I was quite embarrassed about it, in all honesty, because people wouldn't believe me. People would laugh when I'd kind of tell them, even though my friends were proud about it. They'd be like, oh, my friend, he's going to be Lord Mayor. And then people just laugh in disbelief, and I couldn't blame them, to be honest, because it is when people have been socially conditioned to think one way or have that stereotype, when they don't, what they're being told doesn't fit that, they tend to not to believe it. So I just wouldn't tell anybody until I kind of just became Lord Mayor. People are like, oh, this guy's actually our Lord Mayor. Imagery is really, really important. Just for somebody to be able to see somebody that they can relate to and that they can understand, having such position will just be able to broaden the horizons to be able to think, wow, that is also possible for me. For many people, especially young people, they might not be able to think they can become a Lord Mayor because they've not necessarily seen someone that they can relate to hold that sort of position before within Sheffield. So it does break down those barriers. And honestly, I don't think my role as Lord Mayor isn't to change the world. I'd be lying if I was saying that. But if I can inspire or empower somebody else to become that change, I feel as if that is a job well done. But I've also learned this, we've still got a long way to go, whether that be on hate crime, whether that be on equality, but it's through making those small changes that we're going to get there. In Sheffield, honestly, we don't compromise on who we are. You either love us or you like us. And I think within Sheffield's history of welcoming people, it's also the first city of sanctuary. Then it was the first city that got given status of welcoming people. It speaks volumes, in all honesty, and I think that's just a credit to Sheffield. And I am merely just a reflection of the people of Sheffield, because I am who I am because of my experiences in Sheffield. I've achieved what I have achieved because of my experience in Sheffield, and I'm only sat here today because of the people of Sheffield electing me. What makes up my identity is my being British, being Somali, my religion, and my love of food, my love of MMA. Loads of things make up my identity, and not just a specific thing. I think a lot of people are quick to trying to pigeonhole you into a specific bracket. Hand on heart, I could not tell you what the future holds, and that's exciting because, for example, I went to university, studied aquatic zoology, went after that, set up a digital marketing company with 2 friends, ended up working for a charity called Shelter, ended up elected as a councillor, then Lord Mayor, and I have no idea, and that excites me. I really have no idea, but I think whatever I'm doing, it'll be something that is playing some sort of positive contribution to those around me, and that is the theme that I'll kind of take forward with me in life. So whatever that is, I've no idea.